Hairston at second and Jeff Conine at first this afternoon. And Brooke Fordyce is behind the plate. Menachino batting .268, 7 home runs, 26 runs batted in. Towers has worked 15 1/3 innings as a major leaguer, and he's given up just 1 walk and struck out 6. And there's strike 1. That's his middle name, strike 1.
Well, the Orioles did not waste any time in giving up Mike Mussina's number, 35, worn by Mr. Towers.
Fastball inside, and the count now is 1-1. Well, how long did it take for the A's to give away 33?
That's true. Probably wouldn't get the comments that the A's got from Reggie Jackson.
Broken bat off the fist, rolls under the glove of Towers. He sprints after it, recovers, and throws to first from the grass to get the out on Menachino. He sawed him off inside. Well, they tell us that he has tremendous confidence working in, out, up, down, and in the strike zone.
In his first major league start, he was 0-1 on 8 of the first 9 batters. First pitch strike, 8 of the first 9 batters.
Here's Jason Giambi, whose 3-run homer last night made it look like the A's were putting together a happy scenario for a crowd of over 30,000, but Conine and his mates turned that around. Jason takes the first pitch for a strike. Giambi has homered in 3 consecutive games. The last 3 games, he's 7 for 11 with 10 runs batted in. Starts the day hitting at .368 with 14 bombs. Ground ball to first. Comes up nicely for Conine. He waves away Towers, runs to the bag, and the young man takes care of business, shutting down the A's. 1-2-3, and after 1, up to .267 with 13 homers and 35 runs batted in. One thing Art Howe told him, don't be thinking about anything except doing what you've been doing. In other words, don't think, oh, I'm in the cleanup slot now, I got to hit 8 miles. And the pitch is strike 1 from Josh Towers. Outside breaking ball, and the count 1-1. I'm sorry.
They try to work pitchers, and here's a young kid throwing first pitch strikes, and maybe you see the A's starting to swing at those first pitch. 4 batters, 4 first pitch strikes.
Fastball, strike. 1-2. One of the things that younger players sometimes fall prey to is if they get moved into a different slot in the order, they think, oh, job description, such and such. Now I've got to do this.
Right.
And it doesn't always work that way, and that's not always the manager's intent. There's one that's looped in a shallow left field, going back on it is Bordick, reaches up and makes a nice running catch. Good play by Bordick. He got such a quick jump on it because it wasn't up there very high. And it looked like Miguel might just flare one in.
Definitely no chance for Kincaid, the left fielder, to get to the ball.
Here's Terrence Long, who was hitless last night, batting at .285. Only 3 for his last 16 on the homestand. Ripken at third plays Long well off the bag. And it's outside for a ball 1. Towers delivers. And a strike on the inside corner. He didn't get the first pitch strike, but he got the second. And the next pitch. Swing and a pop-up behind short, going out a long way. Bordick will not have a chance. Here comes a dive by Kincaid. It's off his glove, and into second with a slide is Terrence Long. That ball was just too far into short left center field for Bordick to reach, and Kincaid came flying in from left, and a headlong dive, got a glove on it, but that's all. A double for Long.
Well, you see all the room between the infielders and the outfielders, and you have to wonder why more of those don't drop in. That just shows you how great outfielders are coming in or infielders going out, as Bordick has already shown. Well, that ball was up quite a ways, quite a while in the air, yet nobody could get to it.
You think that's a lot of room? What about the Giants up in Colorado these days? That ballpark, there are so many places for hits in the park, not just out. Here's Signs now, homering last night, and he takes a strike. First pitch strike.
A's are not going to Colorado this year.
Music to my ears. Now could you add Phoenix, San Diego,
San
LA,
Francisco?
San Francisco. The recipe for a happy summer. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Hit him. Signs hit for the 10th time this year. And he didn't have to lean into that one at all. That was in on him.
Well, I think back to a couple of years ago when he got almost intentionally by Jim Corson before Pedro put one between his numbers. But it seems like now O'Melo doesn't like getting hit.
I know.
I mean, he's even that time that was unintentional by pitcher Towers, but yet, boy, he put his bat down and looked out. And of course, unfortunately, you can get hit in areas where don't feel so bad. Maybe in just more meat, but all of a sudden you get hit in the elbow
and bones.
Yeah, it starts to take its toll on the hitter.
Well, Don Baylor had the amazing knack to be able to take it on that muscular part of the left shoulder.
With no protection on that left side at all.
Here's Jennings now. Runners at first and second. The A's maybe with a chance to push themselves back into it. There's a high drive to left field. It's twisting toward the corner. Racing after it, Kincaid. He makes the catch just at the edge of the warning track. And the runners have to remain at first and second. The ball didn't have the distance it might have, and it died out there well short of the wall. 2 out. Here's Mark Bellhorn. Now, after the flags weren't very active at the start of the game, but in the view corridor in left field, they're showing a lot of action, and they're swirling around. Might have had something to do with the flight of that ball off the bat of Jennings. So Towers now needs one more out to keep the A's off the board. 5-0 Baltimore in the second inning. And the right-hander sets, high set right in front of the chest. Fastball for a strike. Towers moved up to Double-A ball in his third year back in '99. Went 12-7 in the Eastern League. And then last year in the International League, he was a midseason All-Star at Rochester. Swung on, fouled back by Bellhorn, and he's 0-2. 24 starts last year at Triple-A, 148 innings of pitching, 21 walks. Now Towers leans in again to get the sign as Bellhorn waits at the plate. The A's with 2 on right now with Long at second and Signs at first. Bellhorn fouls one into the screen. And it remains 0-2. The series in the homestand will wrap up tomorrow. Same time, same place at 1:05. Corey Lytle against another rookie, a little different type of rookie right-hander, Willis Roberts, who brings it in the mid-90s. Struck him out. A swing and a miss by Bellhorn, and the A's get 2 and leave them both.
But then Jennings fired to left, and Bellhorn struck out. Josh Towers, 1-1 with a 4.02. His initial go-round in the big leagues, and there's a strike on the inside corner to Wilson. 0-1. In the outfield, Mora playing in center, shaded toward left center. It's Anderson in right today, and Mike Kincaid in left. Here's the windup, and the pitch by Towers to Wilson. Taken high, 1-1. Orioles with 8 hits, leading 5-0. Wilson wide open stance, spread stance, bending at the knees. Now the pitch to him, and that's a strike on the outside corner, 1-2. Like most catchers, Wilson takes a lot of pride in the work that he does with the pitching staff, and very diligent, learning the A's pitching staff in spring training, and that helped him when he was called back from Triple-A a couple of weeks ago. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Tom. Swung on and missed. Fastball. Got him on strikes. Second K for Towers, and that'll bring up Johnny Damon. But Robin Jennings has talked about the fact that there's been some benefit to being around a long time in the minor leagues, that he's actually facing pitchers now in the big leagues that he faced in the minor leagues. And Wilson was talking before the game today, Ray, about how, number one, he tried to learn the A's pitching staff during the spring. And number two, when he was in the minor leagues, as the pitch to Johnny Damon is taken outside 1-0, that he actually faced Jeff Tam quite a bit and faced Isringhausen. And Damon swings, fouls it back, so he felt he had a pretty good book on those guys going in.
It's a good point. 10 years in the minor leagues, you're going to see a lot of players that coming up through the ranks to get to the big leagues.
He said Izzy was nasty in the minors. They pitched to Damon on the way. Johnny, it's a ground ball foul wide at first. He said the only thing worse than facing Izzy as a closer was facing him when Izzy was a starter.
Right. Yeah, I haven't faced him 3 or 4 times in the game as opposed to once.
Johnny Damon, wide to left first time up. The A's are trailing 5-0. Bottom of the third, 1 out. Towers checking with his catcher Fordyce. The outfield shallow, shifted toward left. And Damon swings and misses and strikes out. Tailing fastball that time on the outside corner. Quickly 2 away.
We talked about Josh Towers wearing the number of the former pitcher for the Orioles, Mike Mussina. Mussina very good at holding a little bit of reserve, throwing about 90%, 85-90%, and then adding a little bit extra. And it seems that Towers can do that too. Because I know warming up before the game, he was hardly throwing at all like he had a good fastball. But, man, he's come out and throwing a very good one.
Frankie Menechino takes low. And, of course, Towers very aware of that number 35. He said he's trying to do it justice, but knows that he's really not out there to try to fill Messina's shoes. Here's the 1-0 pitch. And that's a strike on the inside corner, 1-1. Nobody aboard for the A's in the bottom of the third. They're trailing 5-0. Now Frankie swings and misses, 1-2. Jason Giambi on deck. Menechino 0 for 1 this afternoon. 5 for 18 on the homestand. And here's the delivery, 1-2. Way inside, 2-2. The final game of the series and the homestand tomorrow, 1:05 right here. Corey Lytle against Willis Roberts. Here's the pitch. Towers fires, and Frankie hits a shot up the middle and by a diving Bordick into center for a base hit. Ball had just left to the second base bag. Bordick diving to his left. Menechino a solid single. Second hit for the A's, and that'll bring up Jason Giambi.
Oh, Menechino able to hit that ball so hard because he has such a short swing. And especially with 2 strikes, he still generates as much power with 2 strikes as he does when he has a count in his favor.
Jason is 0 for 1. His last 10 games, 19 for 36. Last 21 games, batting .431. Last 3 games, 7 for 11. 4 home runs. It goes on and on. And Towers' pitch to Jason is low, and it's 1-0. A's are down 5-0. Menechino at first, Conine holding. Outfield very deep. Mora in center, shading left center. Anderson straight away and right. The infield actually shifted toward the right side. Cal way off the third base line. And Jason takes a fastball strike on the outside corner, 1-1. Jason steps out. Now back to the plate. Deep in the box. The stance slightly open. And Towers with a 1-1 pitch. And Jason pops it foul out of play. Mentioning Messina. And Messina slated to face Pedro Martinez for the 3rd consecutive time on Monday. And Joe Torre is thinking about avoiding that now. He's thinking about moving Messina back a day. Twofold purpose there. Number one, he's not sure that he wants Messina to pitch against Pedro 3 times in a row. And number two, Torre wants to alter his rotation so that Roger Clemens will not face the Mets in a series at Shea later this month.
He wants to keep his pitcher alive.
That's exactly right. Now the 1-2 to Giambi is a drive up the middle and speared by Bordick. diving to his left. Great play on a sizzling shot by Jason Giambi and robbed by his former teammate Mike Bordick diving back of the second base bag. So the A's are retired. They get a hit and leave one.
Ladies and gentlemen, please check
Towers. And he hits a high pop to the right side in the foul territory. Conine coming over, has room in the coach's box and makes the catch. Conine, after he was robbed by Johnny Damon, got to first base, saw that Damon was making that great catch. He did a high jump over there in frustration. I didn't know that he could leap that high. Almost out of his shoes. And now on the first pitch of the bottom of the fourth, Conine catches the pop, hit by Tejada. And that brings up T. Long. 5-0 Orioles.
See, he's hitting out of his shoes right now. Everything he swings at, he hits hard. Going back to last night, Damon made another great play, robbing him of extra bases.
He's hitting 16 of his last 17, Conine. There's a pitch for a strike to T. Long, 0-1. And Long hits a bouncing ball to first, taking the hop. Conine has it, goes to the bag, in time, 2 away. Wanted to mention, Ray, got a call earlier today from Bill Weiss, who's really a treasure, longtime historian and statistician. I first met Bill when I was working in the California League about 17 years ago. And he was listening the other day when we were talking about Bill Fisher and some of the people who have been in baseball for their entire lives. There was a box in the Tampa Bay Media Guide about people like Bill Fisher, who's now the Tampa Bay pitching coach. He's in his 70s, been in baseball better than 50 years. Olmedo signs, takes a breaking ball for a strike, 0-1. Quickly, nobody on here, 2 out in the fourth. 5-0 Baltimore. Towers to the plate, and Signs, little bloop out over second. It's going to fall into right center for a base hit. So Signs has a 2-out single to right center. The A's have their 3rd hit. But Bill added some names to the list. He had mentioned George Kissel. In his 62nd year in baseball, at the age of 79, the senior field coordinator for the Cardinals, and Cal McLish, who's got about 18 middle names, right?
All Indian, right.
75 years old, and Hub Kittle, in his 65th year in baseball, 84 years old. Both McLish and Kittle still active as special assignment pitching coaches for Seattle.
Cal McLish was a pitching coach in Milwaukee when I played there. Calvin Coolidge, Tuscaloosa. I mean, he's got all kinds of them all.
Jennings takes a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. 2 out, bottom of the fourth. Orioles leading 5-0. Signs at first. And Jennings, it's a high pop out over second, playable. Bordick going out. Hairston from second. Hairston back there drifting with it. Makes the catch. Jennings pops out. The A's failed to score, and after 4 complete, Orioles 5.
Josh Towers, the young right-hander. Here's Bellhorn to lead off, 8th in the order. Towers pitch inside, ball 1. I would guess that since this is the first time he's pitched in the Western time zone, that his relatives and friends from down in the Oxnard area would be up here today. Swing and a foul tip into the mitt for a strike. 1-1. His previous outings all came either in the Eastern time zone or his lone major league start last Monday. That was against the Rangers, and that was in Texas. There's a swing and a pop-up on the left side, coming back in foul ground, and Fordyce has a play, and he makes the catch over by the on-deck circle to the left.
Well, if he does have a big pass list, they have to be very impressed because the young man has pitched very well.
I think I may have misspoken about that start he made against Texas. That was at Baltimore, not at Texas. So all of his appearances, relief or otherwise, they were in Baltimore or at Tampa Bay or at New York. So far, the A's have not done much to solve him. Here's Wilson now. He struck out the first time. And a swing and a high pop-up foul outside of first. Conine tracks it, going down toward the bullpen, and makes the catch. Again, there's more of a breeze now than when the game started, and you have to be a little bit more alert. That ball was beginning to drift, but they're 2 up and 2 out in foul ground now. Towers, not impressive physically speaking, is on the smallest side for what pitchers generally represent today physically. So many very big physical specimens. But again, as I said earlier, he's kind of along the lines of Tim Hudson. Works very easily and delivers ball 1 to Johnny Damon.
And that was just pitch number 50 here in the 5th inning.
He's already got 14 outs for the day. Bradford continues to throw for the A's, and they're, well, yes, it is Bradford in the pen. And the pitch now to make it ball 2, 2-0 to Damon. Ground ball, base hit to right field. So Damon is on with the A's 4th hit. One was a pop fly double, and the other 3 singles. Now they'll bring up Menachino, who had one of the singles. One of the rare hitters counts that the A's have been able to get against this guy today. Menachino 1 for 2. Towers ready and delivers. Strike call. He could be easily called Control Towers.
It's good, Bill. Good nickname.
Oh, 0-1 to count. He bends low to get his sign. Now he's ready. And here it comes. Strike called. 0-2.
Well, Frankie, that time taking a pitch, Johnny Damon shot up a flare from first base like he was going to run, and good breaking ball from Towers, but I don't know if Frankie, after taking the first strike, if he was so willing to take that one, but as if he thought maybe Damon was going to be running.
Now he's in the hole. Towers ready and works and strikes him out swinging. So the inning is over as we're ready to go in the bottom of the 6th inning, and here's the first one. Jason hits it in the air, high on the left side behind short. Bordick shading his eyes with a glove, now drifts with it in the wind and makes the catch for the out. Jason going up there swinging on the first pitch, and he's 0 for 3. Bordick robbed him the last time on a low line drive that Bordick snared. And there's one away. Ray, how'd you like to be catching this young guy?
Well, he throws strikes. It's like he'd have an idea. Yeah. Glad I'm not, because I don't know that I could get down to the catching position, but
well, we're assuming
a few years ago.
Suspend reality for a few moments. I would think it'd be a pleasure because you know he's going to hit his spots.
Yeah, that's always a lot of fun for a catcher.
Here's Tejada, and he takes ball 1, a fastball high, 1-0.
And he does not seem to be throwing a lot of different pitches. Fastball that he'll work both sides of the plate, up and down, and good command.
Swing and a miss. Tejada on an off-speed pitch that time, way out in front, 1-1. Is it a temptation for young pitchers when they begin to have some success to think, hey, I got to add more variety to my array of pitches?
Vida Blue, classic example.
Really?
In his early years, yes.
Strike, a fastball, 1-2.
Vida could throw a fastball, and he could throw 100 fastballs a game and win. But he wanted to throw the curve. I think people started saying to him, well, you've got a good fastball. Well, what about your breaking pitch? And he wanted to try to throw a good one and never really was able to.
Fastball low. 2-2.
Still kid him about the 73. A's up 2-1 of the Orioles, and Andy Etchebarren hit a home run to tie the game on a curveball of all pitches for him to tie the game with.
Fastball inside in the count 3-2 to Tejada.
And he shook me off, and I let him do it.
Shame on you.
Yeah, you're right. But I figure, well, he knows what he's doing. Oh, man. Then Bobby Grich followed him with a solo. We ended up losing the game.
Here's the pitch. 3-2, pop up. Left side, maybe playable by the A's dugout. 4 dice over. But so is the third baseman, Ripken, and Cal makes a palms-up catch, one-handed, about 10 feet in front of the A's dugout.
And no panic whatsoever. Got close to the dugout, just calmly put his glove down, palm up as you said, and ball's right there.
Boy, the A's have been popping up a lot today. That's 7 pop-ups as I make it right now. Here's Terrence Long, 2 out. He doubled, and that was on a pop-up. High for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Towers working very calmly. Delivers. Foul back. 1-1. Now the wind for the next delivery. Swung and smoked down the right field line. A foul ball by just inches. Long would have had 2 out of that. Instead, it's a strike, and the count now 1-2. The A's had Long at second and Signs at first with 1 out in the second, but Jennings flied to left. Bellhorn struck out. It's the only time they've had a runner beyond first base. Towers into the wind, delivers a slicing foul in the air to the left, and that'll be out of play. Two out with nobody on for the A's here in the 6th inning. 5-0 Baltimore. The pitch. Fastball away. 2-2. A's have been shut out once this year, and they've executed 1 shutout. Ball now. It's 3-2 to Long. That count hasn't been very prevalent with Josh Towers today.
It's his first.
And a foul in the air. Long is still alive. The A's were shut out back in the 8th game of the season by Seattle, 3-0. And their shutout was a complete game effort by Mulder. There's a fly ball to left near the line. Plenty of room for Kincaid now, and fair ground makes the catch. A 1-2-3 inning by Towers. And at the end of 6 full, the Orioles 5 and the Athletic.
Jennings on deck, then Bellhorn. Josh Towers been pretty much unhittable. And the rookie right-hander delivers, and it's inside 1-0. A 15th round pick. No walks, that's true to form. He's worked 21 2/3 innings in his rookie season in the big leagues. He's allowed 1 walk. A's have 4 hits, harmless safeties, and this one in for a strike, and it's 1-1. Long blooped a double in the second. Menachino singled in the third. Signs singled in the fourth, and Damon singled in the fifth. 1 extra base hit, and the 1-1 delivery is swung on and missed. 1-2. We mentioned earlier that the June draft beginning on Tuesday. Grady Fuson and the gang holed up in the war room. A's have 3 selections of the first 37. Now the 1-2 pitch to Signs, foul back. The A's have numbers 25, 26, and 37. The 25th is their own pick. The 26th they got from the Mets for the signing of the Mets signing Kevin Appier. And they'll get a sandwich pick between the first and second rounds for losing Appier. And that's the 37th selection. Signs it's a comebacker spirit by Towers. Good backhanded play. Throw to first for the out. 1 away, 6-0 Orioles. The A's aren't really used to drafting that low.
Yeah.
But that's a byproduct of their success last year in winning the American League West. If you look at their ball club now, Zito, who pitched today, #1 pick in '99. Mulder, #1 pick in '98. Chavez, #1 pick in '96.
Baltimore has 3 of the first 31 picks.
Robin Jennings, it's a drive to right center for a base hit. The A's have their 5th hit. Jennings a solid single, and a solid job for Robin after Jeremy Giambi went on the DL. That's a modest 5-game hitting streak for the A's right fielder, and during that time he's 7 for 19.
The soft-spoken Robin Jennings.
Learned a lot of lessons in this game. I was talking the other day about going back to Sacramento this year. So much disappointment. He's been kind of on the periphery of the big leagues for many years. Never really had a chance to stick. And Bellhorn swings and misses. He said it really used to affect him at one time. Going back to the minors year after year, he'd get frustrated, didn't play that well, and he said, hey, I learned my lesson. I don't have that many years left in this game. I got to make the most of every opportunity. And he batted .350 during his time in Sacramento this year. The pitch to Bellhorn is swung on and missed, 0-2.
And players like Robin Jennings, Tom Wilson, guys that spent a lot of time in the minor leagues, they have to be good because normally you wouldn't see a player stick around that long in the minor leagues.
At that age.
That age, you know, just 4 or 5 years, they figure, well, he's not going to make it. And they're shipped out and never to be seen again.
You go from prospect to suspect.
Very fast.
0-2, Bellhorn waiting, switch hitter batting left, fouls it back. Mark really struggling. He's made 9 starts for the A's, and he's 6 for 33 in those starts. 6-0 Orioles. And Bellhorn swings, fouls it back. Looking at some of this draft stuff and then looking through the minor league report from yesterday, the A's AA Midland team played Tulsa in a Texas League game. Darren Oliver started that game for Tulsa as part of his rehab assignment. Midland beat Tulsa 12-0. Now the 0-2 is a one-hopper through into center, base hit by a diving Bordick. Jennings to second, stopping there, and Mark Bellhorn has a 1-for-3 afternoon with that safety. 2 on with 1 out as the A's try to battle back. They're really one big swing away from getting back in this game, down by half dozen. The A's have a guy at AA by the name of Jacques Landry, who's from Bryan, Texas. 6'3", 205. Now, I know Midland's a great hitter's park, Texas League, conducive offensive league. He has 22 home runs.
Ball probably carrying very well, but you still have to hit him, even if the ball is carrying.
All right, here's Tom Wilson. Down at second is Jennings. At first is Bellhorn. The outfield swings toward left. 6-0 Orioles. Bottom of the 7th. In the outfield gap in right center. And Wilson takes a strike in the outside corner. 0-1. Damon's on deck. They're stirring around in the Baltimore bullpen. Towers from the first base side of the slab. He's ready, and here's the pitch, and it's swung on and missed. 0-2. Going deep into a ball game. Nothing unusual for Josh Towers. His only other major league start against Texas last week, he went 7. But in the minors, in AAA this year, 7, 6, 8, 9. And then 4 in his second start, 7 in his first start.
One of their 4 left-handers in the bullpen, John Parrish, beginning to throw.
Wilson's 0 for 2, and the pitch. Inside might have hit him, did. It grazed him, and the A's have the bases loaded. So Tom Wilson, the A's number 9 hitter, brushed by a fastball thrown by Towers. And now the A's have a real legitimate shot to climb back here.
On an 0-2 fastball, Mark Wiley going to go to visit with his young pitcher, but boy, sometimes it's best not even to try to waste a pitch. He went inside, just to show the inside part of the plate, and nicked it.
Mark Wiley, who was Mike Hargrove's pitching coach in Cleveland, former Major League pitcher, out to the mound. So with one out, Jennings singled, Bellhorn singled, Wilson hit by a pitch. Damon will be coming up. As Bill said, Parrish is throwing in the bullpen. The other lefties are B.J. Ryan, who pitched well last night here, Chuck McElroy, and Buddy Groom.
You'd think Kansas City would be talking to the Orioles about acquiring a left-handed reliever, wouldn't you?
Give me somebody. Somebody who's alive, who's kicking. Johnny Namath's 5 to left, struck out and singled. 6-0 Baltimore. We're in the bottom of the 7th. The A's have the bases loaded. And the pitch, low and outside, 1-0. If the A's can get somebody on here, either Damon or Menachino, and avoid a double play, Jason Giambi will bat in this inning.
That'd be great for the A's to pick up a couple, 2 or 3 runs, at least keep it going and put some on the board.
Infield back for 2, and Damon takes low and outside, 2-0. Jennings at third, Bellhorn at second, Wilson at first. The A's needing a win to climb back to 500 and avoid a 2-3 homestand, with the 6th and final game of the stand coming up tomorrow. Damon's a left-handed hitter. And here's the pitch. And it's way outside, and it's ball 3. And when this kid goes 3-0, that's a sign that he's losing it a little bit. Again, the infield playing halfway, double play depth up the middle. And here's the pitch, taking a high strike with a fastball, 3-1. Signs bounced out. Jennings singled. Bellhorn singled. Wilson was hit by a pitch. And the 3-1 is swung on and foul tip, 3-2. Johnny kind of lunging at that ball out in front. Crowd just aching to roar here. 23,726. Towers from the first base side of the rubber. With the bases loaded, the 3-2 on the way, and a bouncing ball on the first baseline, foul. Foul ball taken wide of the bag by Conine, but clearly called foul by Mark Wegner, the first base ump.
That would have been a nice foot race. Towers got off the mound quickly, heading over to first base, but it would have taken a nice throw from Jeff Conine to get the Speedy Damon.
He looks like a good athlete,
yeah.
Towers. Checks, where's that number 35? He's ready for the 3-2 once again. On the way, and a shot up the middle, back a second, taken by Bordick, on the bag for 1, over to first for 2. And the A's denied in the bottom of the 7th on a well-hit ball, but it took Mike Bordick right back at the second.
An all-star ballots to any.
And he got out with no further damage. And until the 7th, only one man had reached as far as second. And there's a strike now to Menachino, who will be followed by Giambi and Tejada. But the effect of getting that inning-ending double play was several-fold. Not only did it keep his shutout intact and end the inning, inside, off-speed pitch, and they count now 1-1 to Menachino. But it kept anything from developing that would get to the point with Giambi getting to the plate with runners on and a narrowing difference in the score. Inside, 2-1. And he does not appear to be at all reticent about throwing inside. He's hit 2 batters today. Magnanti throwing in the Oakland bullpen. Now the pitch on the way. Swung, and down goes Menachino to his right knee as he misses. 2-2.
And I think the fact he hasn't walked anybody, that's the reflection of his good control. The 2-hit batsman, the fact, like you said, he's not afraid to come inside and be aggressive.
And the infrequency of 3-ball counts. There's a fly ball hit down the right field line. It's got a curve foul falling into the seats well beyond the bullpen. Menachino back in the box for Towers' next delivery, which is high, a fastball. And he's gone to 3-2 here on Menachino. Second straight batter to get the full count. Swung, fouled into the screen. So Menachino hanging in here. He had a single in the third, 1 for 3. The A's hits today in the second inning, a pop fly double by Long. Single by Menachino to center in the third. Single to center by Signs, a looper in the fourth. 2-out single by Damon in the fifth. And a foul tip. Stays alive. It's off the mitt. And then in that seventh inning, with 1 out, Jennings had the single to center and Bellhorn a single to center. But he's kept this thing in real good order today for the Orioles. The fastball just misses somewhere, and I'm not sure that Towers agrees with that call. He looked a little bit sharp about that. So a 3-2 pitch turns into ball 4. Menachino leadoff walk, and Giambi coming up.
Well, just over 100 pitches, but he is still throwing hard.
Elrod Hendricks just answered the phone in the bullpen, and Buddy Groom is going to get up to throw. Elrod Hendricks.
Here's Jason. He grounded to first, was robbed on a line drive. That Bordick snared it short with a dive, and then popped out to Bordick. Outside ball 1. And Fordyce now will go to the mound, taking a peek as he does so down toward the bullpen where Groom is beginning to throw. And the young right-hander takes a look around at his defense now before getting ready to work again. Peers in, takes the sign, and delivers. Pop foul and out of play. Giambi got out in front a little bit that time. 1 ball and 1 strike. Menachino, the runner at first base. Here's the pitch. Off speed again outside. A changeup and the count 2-1. The walk to Menachino was just the second in 22 2/3 big league innings by Towers. Two-1 delivery. Off the outside corner with a fastball. He's trying to catch the edge of the strike zone and just missing. 3-1.
Mark Wiley was talking to young right-hander in between innings. There was a shot on the television side, and he talked about just following through it. It looked like to Damon he was aiming the ball a little bit outside, and the ball was tailing too much, and something similar to what he's doing with Giambi now.
Here it is. Strike. It's 3-2.
It's been very consistent all day, following through and really getting some good zip. But when you try to aim the ball a little bit, all of a sudden the ball tails away. It just gets too much movement. And if you try to guide it, a lot of times that'll get you in trouble.
Full count now. Menachino not being held on at first base. 6-0 Orioles. Jason has a hack and pops it foul to the left. That will not be playable. Landing in the lower seats. They've gone to the 7th inning in Colorado with San Francisco putting up a run in the 5th inning on a Russ Davis homer, and it's now 3-2 Colorado. Nagel pitched into the 6th, followed by Davis. Now Myers in the 7th. Ortiz has gone all the way for the Giants. Houston edged the Dodgers 2-1. Oswalt over Dryford with Wagner saving his 13th. Now 3-2 to Giambi. And Menachino off at first. There's a swing and a foul. Hammered off to the right.
Even though Menachino not being held at first base, was able to get a huge lead. Sure, Art Howe does not want Giambi to possibly line into a double play. If he did run, he'd probably walk easily into second base. But A's are down too many runs to take that chance.
Full count. Towers to the plate. Giambi hits a high slicing drive, fouled on the left side, going into the lower section. If the A's were to pull this one out, it would take at least one big rally or a couple of fairly large ones. Down 6-0 with 6 outs to work with. Towers ready again. Ball 4. Fastball outside. Back-to-back walks, and he stares down a little bit in the direction of the plate. I'm not sure it was a stare at the umpire or just contemplating, now, wait a minute, how could I walk 2 in a row? Here comes
Hargrove.
Mike Hargrove is coming out now, and he's going to make the change. 2 walks in a row after walking